Hey folks, Jim and Leila here for Geeking Out episode 175.
Yay!
It's our final episode of the year,
Yes.
and we're going to break it into two halves. The first half will be our normal, everyday comic reviews, and the second half, which might be cut into another episode, will be our holiday gift guide. So stick around for that.
Yes.
First up, let's get to some reviews.
Okay, first up we've got Avengers X-Sanction number 1 of 4 by Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness. In this one, Cable sacrificed himself to save Hope, but his job isn't done. He's in a time slide to the far future, and he learns that the world has not been saved because Hope wasn't there to save it. Wait, what? Cable travels back to stop those responsible. And who is responsible? The Avengers. Kinda weird. So this was okay. It would seem like the Avengers, you know, are not going to be done for. I mean, come on, he's not really going to kill the Avengers. And
We can only hope he does.
Cap can't really be dead at the end of this. But, you know, McGuinness's art, like, leaps right off the page, and Loeb stretches the drama out really right till the last moment. So I actually thought this was a really enjoyable read. Even though we're pretty sure that he's not going to off all the Avengers, I'm still along for the ride.
Next up, we have Gold Digger Christmas, number 5, written and drawn by Fred Perry, Rod Espinoza, Kelsey Shannon, Jay Odin, and more. And this one, it's time for another festive feast of Gold Digger as Fred Perry and friends bring you plenty of Yuletide yarns. As always, a lot of fun to have with Fred Perry's Gold Digger and friends drawing some holiday-style stories. So yeah, if you're a fan of Gold Digger, check this one out. It's a lot of fun for the Yuletide season.
Next up, we've got Carnage USA, number 1 of 5 by Zeb Wells and Clayton Crane.
Isn't the U.S. pretty much in Carnage as it is?
Yeah.
Quack.
Okay, so in this one, Carnage, aka Cletus Cassidy, has broken out of prison and has settled into the quiet town of Doverton, Colorado, and the town will never be the same. The Avengers go in to answer the threat, but they kind of only make the situation worse, and now the government must consider sending in their contingency plan, which looks kind of awesome. So what can I say? I love Clayton Crane's art. You know, the interiors are not always as solid as, you know, the image on the front of the book, but still really well done, and his art style really suits, like, Carnage and Venom, all those characters. It's just, there's nothing that can top it, really. And Wells' story is macabre and action-packed, which I really enjoyed. So, you know, if you're looking for a Carnage book, this is actually very well done.
Next up, we have Princeless, number 2. And this one, Adrian returns home to rescue her youngest sister, but finds she's already too late, and that she is the most heavily guarded princess in a tower of any of her sisters.
Really?
And
Rapunzel's not beating that?
Nope,
No.
nope.
Okay.
Basically what's going on now is that Adrian has found out that breaking into a castle is one thing, but getting out alive is quite another. Well, I really enjoyed the first issue of Princeless, and this continues the trend. Everything that was wrong with the first issue, they fixed with this one. Great printing job, great coloring, and it looks like they actually went through an editor this time, so not much in the way of grammatical or spelling mistakes, so fantastic second issue. Can't wait for the third.
Next up, we've got Omega Paradox, number 1, by Ian Ning and Mark Sparacio. So in this one, Julian and Solera face off against mercenaries to rescue a man from their grasp, leading to a tenuous partnership. But a man leads them into pursuit of the fearful artifact. Once they get there, they find out that they're not the only ones searching for the Eye of Ensev. Okay. I didn't really...
That good, huh?
I didn't really like this. I didn't really like it at all. The art is okay. It's not awesome, and like the story bubbles, like, or the word bubbles are sort of really amateurish, and also I don't know. There was also a number 0, which I didn't read, and there was no, like, little bit in front to sort of help you to be like, previously in Omega Paradox, so that you weren't, like, completely lost. They literally just jumped right in, and, you know, I was like, oh, I seem to be missing something, and then I went back and looked, and I was like, oh, there's a number 0. That must be why I don't understand what's going on. So I just would have really appreciated, like, a little bit of, like, a primer for what was going on, you know, but other than that, I mean, it's an okay book. I just can't highly recommend it.
Next up, we have Gearhart's Steampunk Glamour Review, and this is written and drawn by Various. and basically features a cavalcade of cuties in leather, lace, denim, and brass, as well as essays, prose, and reviews, as well as art by Prime Kessinger, Mahmoud Azhar, and Chris Ortega. So yeah, this is a really nice steampunk book. Gorgeous artwork. Great modeling and everything. This is probably some of the most gorgeous steampunk stuff I've seen in a long time. So if you're a steampunk fan, yeah, check this one out. This is simply gorgeous. And a great way to get into steampunk because it really shows you the aesthetic.
That's cool. Okay, next up we've got the Marvel Holiday Special one-shot. This is by various people because there's 4 different stories in here. So, in the first one, Cold-Hearted Christmas... Oh, thank you, Jim.
No problem.
In Cold-Hearted Christmas, Spidey develops a soft spot for a thief. In Logan's Lost Lesson, Wolverine shares a great Canadian pastime with some of the students. In Old St. Nick, Nick Fury infiltrates a Hydra base as part of an important mission. And in Chinese Food for Christmas, Ben Grimm and Kitty Pryde invite some special guests to their holiday party. So... I loved the Logan's Lost Lesson bit. It was so awesome. Mixing like hockey with mutants, and mutants do make hockey better. It was pretty cool.
Well, considering hockey players nowadays, I don't think they're that far off from mutants.
And then Old St. Nick, Nick Fury, it was just actually turned out to be like a really, like, you thought the story was going one way and then completely went another, and it was really touching, and I thought it was really cool. So overall, a really great holiday offering from Marvel, especially because it is at a reasonable price tag. It's only like $3.99 US for 4 stories, which I really enjoy, so definitely pick this one up.
Next up, we have A Very Zombie Christmas, number 3, written and drawn by Joe White, Fred Perry, Ben Dunn, and Dave Hutchison with Rod Espinoza. And in this one, basically, it's more ho-ho horror as AP brings you a new collection of shorts including The Littlest Zombie, an all-new Warrior Nun Ariella story, and more. So, yeah, if you're a fan of zombies, you're going to really enjoy this with a lot of Christmas cheer. Okay. And brains. Yeah. And guts. And gore. So, yeah, this is a lot of fun. And best of all, it's got the first new Warrior Nun Ariella story in almost 5 years. So, you can't go wrong with that. And Warrior Nun is a fun character. So, yeah, check it out if you're even just looking for a new Warrior Nun story.
Okay. So last for me is The Strain, number 1. This is story by Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Chuck Hogan. Script by David Lapham and art by Mike Huddleston. So in this one, a plane lands at JFK International Airport with almost everyone on board dead. The CDC is called in, fearing that there's been a terrorist attack, but something more sinister may be at work. So, this is apparently an adaptation of a...
novel series.
Yes, the first novel of a vampire trilogy that I didn't know about, which is weird, because I should know about all of those. So now I want to read this trilogy, because this was awesome. I really liked it. The art and story are very solid, and, I mean, who doesn't want to read a vampire thing right now, right?
Especially by Guillermo.
Yes, I mean, it does have a bit of a different twist on it, at least from what I've seen so far, and I really enjoyed this first book. So, you know, if you want to check it out as a primer for the novels, I could highly recommend that, and then definitely want to go out and read those books.
And last, and certainly not least for me, is Witchblade, number 150, written by Ron Mars, with art by Stefan Sejic. In this one, Sarah Pazzini has carefully balanced her responsibility as a police officer and the wielder of the Witchblade. But now, Lieutenant Phipps from Internal Affairs threatens to take one of these away from her, and Sarah must make a decision that will change her life forever. This is a rather short story. Basically, as always, Stefan Sejic's art is absolutely gorgeous, as always. Story-wise, it's not perfect, but it's trying to retell 150
sort of sum up
issues, yeah, in like 16, 17 pages of story. So, yeah, there's a gigantic gatefold thing in the middle, which would have been actually nice if they had made it into a gatefold, but you can't get everything you want. But if you're a Witchblade fan, it's probably a good place to start, because it does give you a lot of feedback and whatnot on what's happened before. So yeah, if you're a Witchblade fan, check it out.
Or you want to become one. Good
or if you want to it's a good jumping on point, and it's even got a 6-page preview of number 150. 151, sorry. But, yeah, so if you're a Witchblade fan, check it out. It is one of the longest running series on the shelves right now. We will see you next for our holiday gift guide.